ticky, ba-boom, boom, ticky, ticky, boom, ticky, ba-boom, boom, ticky, ticky, wark. Welcome, my fair weather friends of the internet multiverse. I am Eric the Penguin, a cartoon penguin, voiced by a guy named Eric. Yep, it's pretty straightforward then, isn't it? As per the standards of this show, I am joined couchside by everybody's favorite Scooby-Doo villain, Old Man Dustin. Tell me, Dustin, would we have gotten away with it?
Yes, had you stayed at home.
Fair enough. Today we review and discuss Fastlane 2018, WWE's version of a 5-year-old demanding that we stop and pee despite being only 15 minutes from our destination. I told you, Vince, you shouldn't have chugged that Mountain Dew back at Elimination Chamber. Dustin, how are you feeling about the road to WrestleMania on Sunday leading into this event? Correct! That's the right answer. You get 2 points.
Yep.
Yes! Only 2 women's matches on the card tonight as we spin our wheels in this very necessary pre-WrestleMania family feud. Let's go to the board. Show me something important transpires tonight. Our first women's division match is the babyface tag team of Naomi and Becky Lynch smashing headfirst into the heel duo of Natalya, Neidhart, and Carmella. Critics agree, this match is on the card. The bell rings thrice, signaling the one-piece dance-off that, I shit you not, ends in a pinfall attempt. Oh, it's already too early for this. Becky then racks up Carmella's tab at the arm bar before actual multi-woman action gets underway. Faces get early control on Natalya, sandwiched with a couple cracking shin kicks until Naomi's loss of the top rope causes her to ride a powerbomb all the way to Kick-Out County. Standard WWE booking sees poor Naomi eat a buffet of melee as Carmella's bouquet of dismay is a cliche of okay. Becky wants to repay the ballet with an array of display that can slay DNA of her enemy's play, but Natalya says nay, will inveigh disobey when the faces today insist they overstay. Hooray!
What?
After working a side job as a human punching bag, Naomi finally gets a hot tag to Becky, who takes Natalya for a quick ride through the usual offense. Naomi gets back into the match after a tag and seems to have fallen into stride. Back and forth offensive tags culminate with a decent handstand Hurricane Rana that topples Becky off the corner rope into a center ring 2 count. Shut up! No, you shut up! There is a never-ending freight train of kindergarten smack talk that remains audible all match. I swear to God, we must have been just a couple of circles and dots away from a particular vaccination. Finally, the go-home sequence sees the referee's attention turned away from Becky, who is attempting to quell a Halliburton interference on behalf of Natalya. The confusion allows Carmella to capitalize with a super kick, which she correctly uses as a finishing move to win the match. 1, 2, 3. Heels take the no prize because none of this meant anything. All will be forgotten. Time is a cruel mistress. Dustin, what are your thoughts?
I actually really enjoyed the match. It was a nothing match with terrible booking going into it, but I really like Natalya a lot as a superstar, but God, she's a terrible actress. But the match, there was nothing spectacular, but it got 4 women on the card with some sort of story, quote unquote, and we got to see Becky Lynch on a pay-per-view, which happens so rarely these days.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I thought it was pretty strong.
Okay. For me, while the match did not keep me enthralled completely, it was also not a boring letdown, like you said. You use the term frequently, Dustin, but tonight I'll be adopting. This match was fine. Becky and Naomi looked really strong in terms of their crisp in-ring maneuvering. Carmella seemed to have trouble finding her flow. I don't think that's typical for her. Maybe she just had an off night. And despite smaller issues, I think the biggest negative this match struggled with was the 4 women having trouble really just kind of clicking together. They weren't bad. There weren't a ton of big botches. No one was hurt, but they did not magnetize to each other well. Not only was the match story-wise thrown together relatively quickly, but the in-ring portion seemed to follow suit. I think with more time on each other's clocks, this could have been a better showcase, but between the awkward interperforming gravitational pull and the placement in the calendar year, this just left me with the deepest commitment I've ever had to the feeling, meh. I'm going 4 out of 10. Sorry, I know it kind of hurts to hear, even from my own mouth, but eh.
I don't understand why this wasn't Becky and Naomi versus Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan. In the weeks leading up to it, it was Becky and Naomi backing up Charlotte against the Riott Squad. So I don't understand. The booking just seemed weird to me. It just seemed thrown together in last minute.
All right. Match number 2 in our big finale for the SmackDown Women's Division. Champion Charlotte Flair is defending against somewhat recent NXT call-up Ruby Riott. Hooray! This match had a story build-in that made this actually feel like the culmination of something. I mean, not a good something, but something. Heel stable, the Riott Squad, have been introducing Charlotte to some 3-on-1 chicanery that only serves to prove the Federation booking never evolves. From bad guys outnumbering good guys to Transformers 5, creativity has fallen ill with a terminal case of merchandising. Ding, 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 and off we go. Squashed Riott kick about 4 seconds in, and the true back and forth begins. Ruby headlocks move towards a gorgeous Charlotte-led fall-away slam. My dearest Ruby attempts to slay the giant while I ponder deep down if anybody wants a peanut. After the duo take a pit stop in the barricade on the outside, the Riott Squad make their ringside appearance known, triggering an MVC assist from Becky and Naomi, who are clearly in Charlotte's corner. Clean and sassy suplex from Riott, who goes back for seconds but is cut off when Charlotte reverses into a picture-perfect 10-on-10 slingshot suplex. Mwah! To their magnificent credit, these two look pretty damn clean together. Next, we dive face first into the absolute death of this match's momentum. While the straitjacket wear-out submission that Ruby applies to Charlotte looks pretty good, the next 2 whole minutes, yes, I checked, of sloth-paced nothingness looks and feels like crap. But wait, maybe this is all a setup for the story for the rest of the bout. Let's see it on the board. Show me all of this pays off! Fuck! Charlotte works her way out, but is silenced immediately by Ruby's hard offense. A few slip-slaps later, and Charlotte plunges to the outside, courtesy of Ruby and her new BFF, Gravity. In an attempt to launch herself between the ropes and her opponent, Ruby accidentally recreates the tiny footstep run of Fred Flintstone bowling fame. However, instead of generating a strike, she herself gets bowled over by a guardrail moonsault with flair. Chop chop Master Charlotte shakes Ruby with her father's most famous offense. Time for plot! Naomi and Becky run in ring to yell at outsider Riott Squad members for, I don't know, since they didn't do anything. Referee, tired of all the intervening, sends all surplus women to the back so we can get to our finale. This should have been a straight 1v1 from the get-go. Could have had a SmackDown story this week where the squad were barred from ringside. This unneeded time-wasting has already dragged parts of this contest down, and this spot added literally nothing. Into our final minutes with some short reversals that quickly conclude with a corner spot that sets up for a very nice spear from Charlotte to Ruby. The collision is stiff enough for Baby Flair to successfully lock in the figure 8, forcing Riott to submit, giving us an expected ending to a decent match. But wait, there's more! If you order now, you get a surprise Asuka appearance, and for only 12 monthly payments of $9.99, you can see this crap and more crap like it at Wrestlemania next month. This commercial brought to you by Queen Clean Glass and Surface. Leave no streak behind. Dustin! Thoughts?
This match was fine. I think my biggest problem with it was something that I saw someone else say online, and after they said it, I went back and watched the match again, and the entire match is booked in the normal babyface heel dynamic where the heel is in control for most of the match. That just doesn't work for me with Charlotte.
Alright, so my summary of this match, the match had a lot of great moments and impressive spots, but there were too many momentum halts for me to really get into it. It's like every time I started digging my heels in, something would happen that would yank me out of the enjoyment. If it wasn't the endless rest hold early on, it was the ref spot late game. I wish the flow were just cleaner, because these two worked pretty damn well together and acted as a great confirmation of Ruby's in-ring work. I think we all knew Charlotte was retaining heading into Mania, but the match itself was fun enough to help me forget that for like a hot minute. I did like it, I just didn't love it. My big concern now is Riott Squad's story moving forward and how this affected it. Match itself, though, 6 out of 10? Although, I wasn't far from granting it a 7.
I think I mostly agree. I didn't like the ending. I did not buy Charlotte being as on the ropes as she was for a lot of it, with the exception of the times in which the Riott Squad were taking advantage of things in order to beat her down. I actually enjoyed the heels teaming up against her dynamic. I will say I thought it was really weird how that all came about, with Ruby not coming out with them and then they just sort of appeared out of nowhere. that was strange to me. Like, why didn't they just come out with her? It just didn't make sense to me. The extraneous people around the ring, I thought was a little strange. I thought it was a perfectly good match, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. It was what you would expect from Fastlane.
Pay-per-view as a whole, any thoughts you want to chime in on? This would be the place to do it.
I thought it was actually really good for
Fastlane.
Yeah, for being a Fastlane. I came in expecting absolutely nothing.
So the bar was low, but it managed to meet that and exceed it.
Yes.
What would you give the show as a whole out of 10?
Well, so I'm considering that now. So I gave Elimination Chamber a 7. And Elimination Chamber, overall, I was not impressed with the exception of the women's matches. This show I actually kind of liked throughout. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7 too. I thought it was a lot more well-rounded of a card than Elimination Chamber was. I think Elimination Chamber had a couple really excellent matches and some really, really not so excellent ones. Whereas this one, all the way throughout, I think I'd give 6s and 7s and 8s to probably every match on the card.
Oh, you're very positive tonight.
It's WrestleMania season. I've got to get, nice and marked up and ready for,
Lube up, baby, because WrestleMania is going in dry.
Look, this is the time every year where I love the WWE, and in 4 weeks I'm going to be screaming at you about how they have no idea what they're doing and what the hell is their problem. But right now I'm basking in the glow of ignorance.
Yeah, I can't say I'm as favorable to you, but I do agree with your overall statement that this event was better than I expected. It is Fastlane, which means next to nothing for anybody. It is absolutely just the time filler pay-per-view for, heading into Mania. But yeah, there was stuff that ended up being pretty good. I did also like the men's tag match. Bludgeon Brothers looked really strong, being a big brute force. So obviously I think they're adding them into that fray for Mania. Makes sense. And it does shake things up since, just like you said, we've seen the tag match between New Day and Uso so many times that adding a new element might spice it up enough to make it Mania-worthy. I did not care for the main event at all. Every time I watch Sami Zayn job, I die a little on the inside. But I am still excited for AJ and Naka. That should be fun at Mania. I thought the Charlotte match with Ruby was pretty good outside of its momentum-chugging crap spots. I'm glad that Ruby looked strong coming out of it. And not, necessarily story-wise, because I don't think she came out strong story, but just in-ring talent. It was a decent, just technical women's match. It had some good stuff. The tag women's match was very throwaway and forgettable. I didn't hate it at all, but I can't remember more than one spot right now, and I just rewatched it today, and I watched it last night. So I've watched it twice, I've taken notes, and I can only remember one specific thing in it. It's not a good sign. But overall, I think I'm going to give it a 6. Better than average, better than expected, but still not great.
So we came out of this exactly the same as we did with Elimination Chamber. Interesting.
We did. Finale. That's our show for WWE Fastlane 2018. We now know that separate branded pay-per-view shows will soon be a thing of the past, so I think it's pretty safe to say that this will probably be the last Fastlane for a long time to come. Luckily, none of this meant anything. All will be forgotten. Time is a cruel mistress. Any final input, Dustin?
I was really surprised that WWE produced a good product. A lot of times they don't, and so it's nice to be surprised.
I'll take that logic. So thanks everybody for watching. Remember to keep up with us on Twitter and through our new home at divadirt.com. Like, share, and subscribe to our cartoony nonsense. And remember, we hate you all. Bye.
Bye.
Boom, ticky, ba boom, boom, ticky, ticky, boom, ticky, ba boom, boom, ticky, ticky, work.